Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, criminal defense lawyer, board certified, I might add. And what does that mean to be board certified? It means that I have had enough trials. I am certified to the extent that I'm an expert in the area of criminal law, a specialist in the area of criminal law and criminal trial law. So today, and today's episode, like always, is brought to you by eforms.com. That's eforms.com. So if you need a lease, you need a loan agreement, you need a power of attorney, you need any kind of legal form, go to eforms.com so you don't have to hire somebody like me and pay them a lot of money to pay something that you can get for free on eforms.com. I use it myself. So today we are reacting to Quando Rondo. Now, Quando Rondo was in LA. He was at a gas station and he got shot at, or at least his vehicle that he was in got shot at. 3 people in a white 4-door car came up to the SUV that they were in. So Quando Rondo and his crew were in a black Escalade. They were at a mobile gas station in LA, and some guys came up and fired away. They hit one of the members of his crew, a 23-year-old guy who later died at the hospital. Quando Rondo himself was not hit. Now, if you remember, Quando Rondo was in a fight with King Von back in 2020. And that's when Lil Tim, who's now on the hook for that murder of King Von, got up and started popping. And so we don't know for sure if this is related to that. It very well could be. But we've got a couple video clips we'd like to show you because this... And I want to show you the window and the devastation that this kind of stuff causes. So let's just kind of watch this news clip. So take a look at that window. I mean, that's the devastation of a bullet. Bullets are indiscriminate, so whoever's in the way is going to get hit.
Fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man. See,
there's Quando Rondo right there, and he sees that they're pulling his body out of the SUV.
Who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
I don't care who you are. You see somebody that's close to you get killed right in front of you, it's traumatic. It's absolutely traumatic, and that's what he's going through. You guys got to stop this killing. You just have to stop the killing.
3 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back.
Can I get some space, please?
So now it's my understanding that this is not some kind of random event. But regardless, for somebody to do this, there's some premeditation here. This is premeditated murder, if you ask me.
Victim vehicle, they pulled up, they were pumping gas, and it looks like they probably finished pumping gas, and the suspects approached from the alley, got out of the car, and started shooting at those victims.
Police helicopters overhead, so we knew something was up.
People in the neighborhood shocked by the news.
So let's kind of analyze this a little bit. So you've got 3 guys, and it's a hit. I mean, it's either a hit or it's a random thing of violence. But what they were doing was they were definitely trying to kill somebody. Okay, and my guess is that it wasn't a random event. Once they figure out who these people were, they're going to figure out why they were there. And so what are the crimes that we're looking at here? Well, you've got murder and attempted murder, and probably murder 1. And here's the other thing. If I intend to kill you, but I wind up killing somebody else, that intent is transferred to the person that was killed. So even though they may not have intended to kill this other guy in their entourage, the fact that they were trying to kill Quando Rondo, if that's in fact what they were trying to do, that intent can be transferred, and so it becomes murder 1, and so which means there was some premeditation, and it sounds like they were laying in wait for these guys, just waiting for the right time. And what are they doing? They're not at a club. There's not a big fight. Whoever did this cannot claim self-defense because there's no fight going on, and they're just pumping gas, and they basically hit some very vulnerable people. So this is what I've been preaching against on my channel, for our channel, me and Michael. He's our content genius, but you guys really have to stop the killing. But you got to be protective. That's why something like this should not have happened, because if this is a professional driver, there's no way they should have been stopped at a gas station, because with Quando Rondo's history and all the people surrounding, this whole King Von thing, no one's going to forget about it, right? I mean, this is very serious, and it's a cycle of violence. If I'm Quando Rondo and I've got a professional driver, that driver's never going to stop at a gas station like this. That's a huge security risk. So let's just talk about the players here for a second. So if you remember, King Von and Quando Rondo got into it, and that's when Little Tim stepped in and did what he did and killed King Von. And Lil Durk, was associated with King Von, and it's been said, all along, when is Durk going to slide for King Von? First of all, there's got to be an end to it. So, you can't seek revenge. First of all, you can't seek revenge and have it be legally okay. Second of all, you've got a Louisiana faction and the Chicago faction, and so, you've got NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk, and this could be a product of that. We won't know for a while, but I wouldn't be surprised if we find out this is all sparked by this whole thing between Von's crew and NBA Youngboys. These two factions, and this is Lil Durk maybe getting revenge. Now, that is total speculation. I don't know if Durk had anything to do with this. This very well could be some random shooting thinking, oh, we'll rob these guys because they're in a nice Escalade. I doubt it, because that's not typically, people don't shoot first and ask questions later. Usually they point the gun and say, give me your shit. So I don't think this was a robbery at all. I think this is more of a revenge type killing. So, guys, there's no reason to slide up on anybody. There's other ways to get justice, and this ain't it. But this is the way of the street, and this is the way things are, and this is the way things are going to be for a while, unless and until somebody decides to step up and be a fucking leader. And be a leader by being nonviolent. I understand bravado. I understand being a tough guy. I understand guns. I understand, protecting, your dignity and blah, 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 blah. But you got to live to fight another day. You got to create something instead of tearing something down. Build. And that's my advice to all my guys out there. Build instead of tear it down. So this has just been our reaction to the news that Quando Rondo was shot at. One of his associates was killed, a 23-year-old guy who had the rest of his life in front of him and now snuffed out for absolutely no reason. But in all likelihood, probably still an ongoing part of that beef between Von Crew and NBA Youngboys factions, those two factions. I'm hoping that things calm down, but all this is going to do is flame things even more. So stay tuned. We'll follow this. We'll follow other things going on in the news. I really appreciate you guys watching. And take my advice, guys. Take my advice. Build, don't tear down. Build. All right? Live to fight another day. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Make sure you go to Shopify. Find us on Shopify. Spread this word. Don't self-snitch. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe, like, follow, Patreon, all of it. We'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please, is that my God?